Hey guys, Noli here and welcome back to another edition of how-to videos. So in today's video we will check new premium tier 10 Russian cruiser Smolensk that is available in the sonar sweep, as you know, currently. And I had a chance to play a few games with her yesterday, and I really have to say this ship is brutal. I mean, it's really awesome. I was even surprised, so I was a bit scared because of her survivability. She's on very lower side, but no, simply she has such amazing guns, such amazing damage output that it simply, you know, if you follow certain rules playing her, I think nothing even comes close in tier 10, or maybe also in entire game how she can perform, you know, if played correctly. Yeah. So we will now do. I will later on. I will show you one gameplay that I really didn't concentrate too much. I did 117,000 damage, 3 kills, 2 cap area. I mean, it was, and I had a feeling that this is just my personal feeling. This should be like usual game in this ship, and it's really on the crazy side, right? So I will show you also this gameplay later on. Now we'll do a short comparison and scoring. So in terms of scoring overall, I will give her 5 from 5. Survivability would be 1 from 5, so she's almost on destroyer level, between destroyer and cruiser. Maneuverability, she's on 5 from 5 in my opinion. She's very nimble ship, on point with Minotaur. Then guns, I would give her 6 from 5. And this, like, and I honestly I stand behind it. I mean, these guns are, this is what she's all about these guns, and it's just brutal. You will see later on. Then she also has torpedoes, but I assume you will forget that she has torpedoes and you won't use them too much. But nonetheless, they are there. Mid-range torpedoes, 3 from 5, and then AA, I would say I would give her also maybe average 3 from 5, but on a little bit lower side. So yeah, okay, or average, let's say. You won't take too much planes with AA, right? Okay, so now in terms of stats, just shortly. So survivability, as I told you, I would put her in between destroyer and a cruiser, but she's bigger than destroyer and smaller than a cruiser, you know, so you have to keep that in mind. And you really want to be very careful who is shooting on you and who is focusing on you, if enemy battleship is focusing on you, you want to bow tank, or you want to run away, or kite, or you smoke. What you don't want to do is show broadside to a battleship, you know, because 2 salvos and you're down, and you know, with Republic it can be honestly 10 seconds, right? Or you don't want that CV is focusing on you, so we really want to stay behind, starting fire, shooting long range, hiding behind friendly battleships or island, and just, like, you know, be as invisible as possible as you can get. Yeah, so that's in terms of survivability. I would compare her very to Atlanta. So Atlanta is one of my favorite ships in the entire game to play, because I think she's super fun to play and super exciting. And I really like this rapid firing fire starter kind of ships. They fit my gameplay and game style. So yeah, I just play her as Atlanta. So if you played Sirius or Atlanta, then you will probably know how to play Smolensk, right? Yeah, then if we compare it to, as you see, for Minotaur, it has 35,000 HP, or Worcester has 39, Moscow, of course, as a heavy cruiser, has 50, so yeah, you really want to be careful about how you are positioning yourself and who is shooting at you. And then that brings us to a second topic, and that's her maneuverability. So she's a very nimble ship, as you can see, on point with, let's say, Minotaur or Worcester in terms of turn time, and then she's a bit faster but slower acceleration than Minotaur, right? And a bit faster and same acceleration as Worcester. So she's very nimble, and that means that if enemy battleship, you need to watch always what enemy battleships are doing on heavy cruisers. And if you see the shells are, you know, that enemy battleship or cruiser have release the salvo in your direction, you have enough time to start turning and actually dodge most of the incoming shells. And this is what you want to do. So you don't want getting enemy salvos and that you are not careful from which direction or ship they are coming for, and you are not prepared for shells landing on top of you. This is a no-go in these ships, right? Then guns, and this is what she's all about guns. So her damage output is simply brutal. I mean, she has a great dispersion, great fire chance. I had like games 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 fires. so you can really start fires super easily, and dispersion, most of the shells will, you know, on 10, 11, 12 kilometers, most of the shells will land. It's super easy to target them, and with her reload of 5 seconds and her 16 guns, so she has 4x4 130mm guns that can start fire. It's the damage output per minute is simply incredible. It's really honestly brutal. In 1 minute, I think you can calculate it, you can have an output, theoretical alpha output, like 85 or 87 or 89,000 damage in 1 minute. So that means that if you can find a good position where nobody's focusing on you, in 1 minute you can amount to 80,000+ damage. It's really honestly unbelievable, right? Then, as I said, so she has torpedoes, but since they are mid-range torpedoes, 6.24 kilometers with 2,800 damage, so you can get around, I think, was it 14,000 damage per side, but you really don't want to get that close to enemy ships unless you are certain that they don't want to shoot at you. So and honestly, with this rapid reload, I didn't even have time to think about torpedoes, because the game that I will show you, I managed to get 436 hits in one game. So it's really brutal. So I don't have a lot of time to, you know, try to think anything else about, you know, dodging incoming fire and shooting shells. And as I told you, so her AA is on the, let's say, average to lower side, so you need to really be careful that, you know, enemy CV is not going after you. Also, her surface detection is 7.78, and that's something that is really good to know, that because if you're low on health, enemy is focusing on you, you can then disengage, stop shooting, and you will probably, if you're correctly positioned, you will probably get out of detection in 20 seconds, right? Yeah, so I think if you follow these rules, you should be fine, and you should be able to have this incredible damage output. Other thing, when she will not function for you, is if you overextend, if you short broadside, or if you if you're not careful from which side the enemy fire is coming. So this is something that you really have to keep in mind. So I would call her, it's some kind of really honestly in between destroyers and cruisers. I mean, if you bow tank like this, if enemy battleship is shooting in you, if you bow tank like this and just pull back, it's incredibly hard to hit you, honestly. So yeah, and this is something that is rather effective. And as I said, you also have 2 level 2 smokes, so this comes also super handy. Yeah, so in my opinion, I don't know, it really fits my game style and play style, and I think she has this incredible damage output, and if played right, she can be a really brutal ship, right? Okay, now let's jump into the gameplay and check her pros, cons, and comparison to other ships and how she performed live. Okay, so first thing that we need to check are her pros and cons, because this will definitely dictate how you play her. So pros are guns dispersion, reload, HE fires chance, damage output like in general, maneuverability, smoke, size, and of course looks. She is beautiful. And cons are survivability and size. And this, as you can see here, so now in the battle, maybe this is my one of few first battles, so I'm a bit panicking, and I was already popping smoke even though nobody was shooting at me. I really wanted to be on a safe side, because I have here Venezia, I have Brinzi, I have Yamato, and I really don't want salvo hitting me of any of these ships, honestly, right? So I did cap the area, and now I'm just pulling back in order for them not to focus on me. And these pros and cons that I told you, this dictates her game style a lot. So play style, you want to stay at distance. You really don't want to, you know, eat a salvo from battleship or you know, from Venezia, or that CV is focusing on you. You're lucky in this game, so there is no CV. And you want to start fires from a long range, because she's really a great fire starter. You want to use your friendly battleships and islands for cover, if anyhow possible, and especially also for AA cover if CV somewhere close, and you don't want to show broadside in any case. You know, you don't want to show anything in any case, because you know, if you will. So here I'm lucky in this first part of the battle, but later on you will see when they start shooting at me how fast and quick you can lose the HP in Smolensk. And you want to actually be as invisible as you can, so that you somehow don't rush, don't present yourself as a juicy target. Okay, we will, I think, have a little bit of torpedo beat here. Yes, good. And yes, so you just want to either turn your bow or hide behind the island, or turn your bow into enemy ships, or hide behind the island or enemy battleship, or pop up the smoke, or be behind other ships, so that you don't look suspicious, that you don't look like a juicy target. This is what is the name of the game in this ship, because if you get focused, again, as you see here, two fires on Yamato, great third fire, yeah. So you don't want to present yourself as a easy target to hit, because you will lose HP very, very fast. So this first part was quite nice. I have 68k damage, nobody, so almost full health, nobody shooted at me, and this is what you want. You don't want them to start focusing on you from the beginning, right? And now I'm starting to eat a little bit of incoming shells, and this is what I want. I want to change direction, sail away, you know, don't be simply don't be an easy target to hit. And this is something that yeah, I learned how to play in, let's say, in Atlanta, and this is something that I really like, you know, enemy team to do, just to focus on me and just missing, as you can see here. So a lot of shells is coming, and they are actually more or less everybody is missing, and this is great. Yeah. So I decided to help on areas B and C, because there on area A there was like 3 or even 4 enemy ships, so I just didn't want to, you know, go alone against in Smolensk against Yamato and, you know, Venezia and Brindisi and Daring. Yeah, and now you will see actually in 1.5 minutes how deadly Smolensk can actually be. I will take 3 ships. I'm already on 80k damage, so really good. And you also, for example, gearing, yeah, so gearing is in battle. You will just now check this out. You know, one shot, boom, really, a second shot, and he's down. So really deadly against destroyer, and precise. You know, 12 shots on what was it, 7-8 kilometers. So really you can count on getting a lot of shots. So first ship down, and then here is the mistake. So I accidentally hit the tip of this island, and look at this. What will one shot, boom, half held down, one shot from Yamato. So this was one tiny small mistake that I hit the island, and I stopped and showed the broadside, and you know, Yamato has connected with me salvo, and I lost half of health. And it was, I don't even think it was a full salvo that I have eaten. Maybe it was like actually 2 or 3 shells, but was enough to get me down on half of health. You know? And this is something that you really want to be super careful and not to get in these kind of situations, right? But here I know, so I decided to push forward. I mean, they were almost already dead, so I decided, like, okay, we can do it, you know. So always be in motion, always change direction, don't show the broadside, always be as like, you know, not tempting or juicy for enemy to shoot at you. So really try to be keep low profile as much as you can, and just yeah, shoot from far away, and you should be more or less fine, and don't rush in forward, especially in the first part of the game. Okay, the Smolensk is down, and we only have left Brindisi, and I think he will also, or she will also go down very fast. Yeah, so I mean, in the end it was 117 damage, K damage, 3 ships, 2 caps, so really brutal game in Smolensk. And just I will now, here is a screenshot of 435 hits in her, so really great. Okay guys, thanks and see you in the next video, bye!